welcome to the Push Power to Power show with your host, Jesus Ortiz. And hey, I hope you like the my intro. I just got it made. I was waiting for it. 2 days ago, I went to Fiverr and I ordered it. And I said I want to get just something simple for right now for the show. And just give me the feedback, comments, hashtag live, hashtag replay when you see it, hashtag humble power. Let me know. I want to hear your feedbacks. You like it or what it is? I mean, it's just something simple for right now, but it's all good. I know that I gotta get to work on my other one, on the audio one. But hey, I'm just to be blessed to be here another day, another episode, and I got another guest to interview, and I'm just ready, man. I'm telling you, we're learning so much here, and we're serving so much to others that these different guests that I'm getting you to the friendly flipper, to yesterday to the relationship coach. Today we got a strategist, online strategist, and love coach. So I mean, it's just unbelievable things that we're learning, things that we're passing down, things that if you got a pencil and to write something, write it, man, write it or put it in your phone. So if you get a nugget or something that we're talking about, so you can put it and apply it to you, to your business, to or any aspects of your life. But hey, I'm just ready and I'm about to get her in here. And today we're interviewing Miss Gwen Washington. So I'm ready. I know y'all ready, guys. And any comments, go ahead, put the comments. I can see all your comments here, and I will put them down here in here so y'all can see it, and I'm ready, so I'm gonna give it to the mic to her. Let's get her in. Good morning.
Morning. Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I left early in the morning and went to take my mom to the doctor, and then I was like, man, I'm gonna tell her maybe we're gonna do it a little bit later, but now I got here back in time.
Yay. I'm sorry. I messed up the time zone. I'm on Eastern time now. So I'm like, wait a minute. This is Central.
Yes. So where are you at in Eastern? So it's
I'm in Florida. So
okay.
I normally, anytime I'm on camera, I like to do it outside because it's very tropical, like on the patio, but the landscapers are here. So I was like, I don't want to hear it.
I know, I hear you. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before when I did Stephanie that we got into it and then the lawnmower outside. It was her. Yeah, I remember. That was
I was
crazy.
like, which one do I take? A lawnmower or like the dogs are next door? Like maybe they'll be quiet.
And I know that they pass around 9. So I'm like, I'm good by 9 something 10, but not every time they do it 9. Sometimes they do exactly at 10. And I was like, oh man, I can't do nothing about that.
Yeah, I'm stuck at home. You're like, where do I go? I'm trying to find new spots. Can I do this in the car?
But it was funny though because we were chatting and then it went and I was like, whoa, I like, did you hear that? She's like, did you hear that? I was like, what was that? She's like, it's storming outside. I'm like, and I looked outside too. I was like, oh man, it's about to rain.
Oh, yeah, no, it's hurricane season, unfortunately. So
I know. I know. And we don't want no rain here in Houston. We do want some rain here in Houston, but not too much like it was like Harvey time. We don't want that.
no.
We don't want that.
It rains here every day for like 10 minutes, so like you're kind of used to it.
I know. That's somewhere where I want to go and soon, to Florida and Miami. It's fun over there for vacation, relax.
Yeah. Well, once this is over, I'm further north of Miami. Thankfully, Miami's not doing too well because of the virus.
I know.
So yeah, I was like, I won't be going down there until.
I know it's the same over here in Texas. Like it's just exponentially growing and more in this, and I was like, oh man. But I mean, not all the numbers that are telling us is true, but that's another story.
Right. Yeah, no.
But hey, let's start. I'm gonna give you the mic. So right now, just for the viewers that are already getting in here, so you can start telling them a little bit about yourself, where you came from, and then we get into it.
Sure. So I'm Gwen Washington. I'm originally from actually Chicago. I was born in Chicago many years ago. And then my family worked a lot. So my dad had a job where he traveled a lot. So I was actually very lucky to live in more than one place. So I've lived in London, Paris, Puerto Rico for a year. And then he was mainly working on the West Coast. So I do not sound like a normal Chicagoan. Everyone's very confused. They're like, you don't sound like.
You got a little bit of it.
Huh?
You got a little bit of the accent
I
on
know.
you.
But obviously, a lot of my childhood was actually spent on the West Coast. So I say, depending on who I'm around, you'll hear two different accents. And obviously, if I've been drinking, then I sound like I'm literally from the Valley or something. So that's a fun tidbit. But my background is actually psychology. I spent a few years actually as a counselor with families and unfortunately children that had suffered abuse. So some very heavy stuff. I ended up in a position where, I was doing well at work, but I really wasn't happy. I wasn't really fulfilled. And at that point, I decided to kind of enter business. My parents had always been in business. My grandparents had a business. So it kind of made sense for me to own my own business. I think they would have been like, what's wrong with you if you're working for someone? Because that's how I grew up. So I decided to leave that field, and then I started a couple of businesses. So one is actually with dating, where we found matchmakers and dating coaches. So that's how I met Stephanie. She's one of our coaches. And we, pre-COVID, were throwing face-to-face events in different cities where people could obviously mingle, meet other singles, and then meet a matchmaker, coach, and then actually use their services. So post-COVID, or during COVID, we are doing obviously virtual events. So it's a little bit of an adjustment, but I find it actually better than face-to-face. It's a lot easier from a business owner standpoint. And then I got into social media. So most of the coaches that I interacted with, some of them had a great presence on social media, some of them did not. And I spent some time redoing their social media or advising them on their social media. So that's kind of how I got my start in social media. And then for the last years, I've been a business consultant and social media consultant to doctors. So obviously, right now they're going through it with the pandemic. But I found that doctors are a very interesting mix of people. They want to obviously be professional and give you information that you need, but they also want to show their human side, and like they have a dog and a family or what they do on the weekends. So it's kind of making sure that their brand comes across where you trust them enough to go to them when you're sick, but also you feel like you know them because they're not just giving you medical content all the time. So that's what I've been up to.
Wow, that's cool. That's what I was telling Stephen. Like, whoa, like I'm having different, the dating stuff. Like, how does that work? I know, man, the dating, how it works. I mean, but like you were saying that you loved it more now that you're at home and you don't have to face to face. But I mean, I miss, the interaction with a person, face to face, even though I still do.
Yeah.
I go out there and have meetings, but it's just one-on-one, not a group,
Right.
But I miss those group interactions and, just building those relationships. But like I said, everybody is different. Everybody likes something better than others. So that's fine if you're still making it happen.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely miss, I miss events, face-to-face events. It's very different online. But I think from a business standpoint, my expenses were very high. I had to have staff in different cities. I could not be in every city at the same time. We were at the point where we were scaling stuff, where we had contracts with big brands like the W Hotel, Marriott Hotel. We had events in Beverly Hills. So it was growing at a very fast rate, but at the same time, from the owner standpoint, it's your business. So if something goes wrong, they're not calling the person that you're calling you. So just having that fear of if somebody tripped, if someone didn't like something, then there's a refund. If somebody didn't show up on time, people are mad. So little bitty things that may not seem like a big deal, but only takes one bad review. So I feel like I spent more time on customer service and making sure everybody was happy. If there was a problem, fixing that as quickly as possible. You know, watch, you know, as a business owner, you got to watch money. You have to make sure you have enough to pay people, pay yourself, you know, hopefully make some profit as well. And once one thing's done, you go on to the next. So
that's true.
I feel from this standpoint, it's easier because of the market. Obviously, when you're doing things face to face, you have to look at expenses. I could not personally fly somebody to London or can't. I mean, I could, but that's kind of, you know, or if I found someone over there, like, do I trust them enough that they're not going to mess up? And, you know, it's a completely different time zone. You know, so that part was very limited. I could only go to certain cities. We could only focus on certain markets versus now, it's interesting enough, the markets that I see that are growing on our end is the actual South. So we were really focused on like New York, Chicago, LA, and now we're focused on like Houston, Dallas, Atlanta's going to be coming up. We're going to start another virtual one for Florida. So it's definitely, I feel like the South is, which I saw that earlier.
Dirty's out.
A lot of people from the North are coming down to the South to live. So I have friends that live in Texas who are from Chicago, friends that are here that are originally from Chicago. So half of my friend group left Chicago and came to the South. So I feel like, you know, something's going on. Pre-pandemic, right when the pandemic hit, I was actually in Houston. So I met Stephanie face to face, and I had been to Houston twice in 1 month. I really loved the city. I loved the people. I was very considering moving there. And then the pandemic hit. And I was like, dang
you
it.
still got time. You still got time when all these things happen. Look at this, man.
So I will get back to that. Like, that's still on the back burner. I still love that city. Once things are, you know, hopefully calm down, maybe by next year, I will definitely be back there. Cause I was like, I love it here. I'm not leaving. And so I'm a little bit closer now because I'm in Florida. It's not that far of a flight.
It's not.
Yeah.
And it's good. Like, I mean, not a lot of people like Houston. It's like everybody, they don't like the States. But right now I've been seeing a lot of people move over here, not only to Houston, but Dallas, Austin, especially from LA. A lot of people are moving because of, I mean, LA, the taxes and all of that is very high. Look, Elon Musk is moving. That's good.
Yeah, Tesla's left. So like when I saw that, I was like, see, like, I mean, I always hope, especially business owners, that, you know, follow the big trends, follow things that are happening in the bigger corporate world. If you see major companies, Amazon, etc., and they're moving to the South, or they're doing more in the South, or they're putting their brick and mortars in the South, like maybe you should consider that if you have a brick and mortar. And even if you're online, like just because you don't have a brick and mortar doesn't mean you shouldn't follow those trends. So, you know, if you want to only target New York City, I mean, there's millions of people that live in it. It's a huge city. So think about your competition and how many other competitions are you going to have that are also targeting New York City versus if you were targeting Austin, Texas, maybe there's only 3 competitors. So it's probably easier from a business standpoint to build a brand in a smaller city, or I just call them sub-cities, where, you know, they're not 2 million, 5 million people. So if you make it big there, then it's easier to branch out into maybe
other
the
cities.
3rd, 4th. And they're definitely right now, especially because of the virus, and even a little bit before, people are leaving LA and New York. I feel those 2 cities that people, you know, especially unless, you know, I don't know, for some reason you're selling pizza, like New York style pizza, then yes. But it wouldn't make sense, I think, from a small business owner to target those huge cities, other than the fact that, you know, yes, there's huge amount of people that live there, but they might not be the people that are going to buy. So, you know, don't waste your money and time. Definitely start doing I do a thing where anytime I launch a new city, which I think is helpful for any business owner, is try to collect feedback and contact information. So like I try to get emails from that city, and I set a goal. So I set 100 emails I need to get from people that live in that city who want the service that I'm providing. If nobody wants it and you can't get, you know, people's contact information, why would you keep investing in that city? Like it doesn't make sense. So I think that's just a really good tip for
Yeah,
local and small businesses to have.
it's very true because I mean, like right now, I mean, a lot of the more brick and mortar, I mean, they're closing, but some of them are, okay, we gotta adapt. I gotta use online. There's
Yeah.
virtual StreamYard. There's so many things, like technology is moving so, especially now that
Yeah.
more people are at home. Facebook, Amazon, they're probably working on the next big thing, make it better, make Facebook better, make Amazon stuff better. So you got to get into it, especially right now with the podcast and
Yeah.
having an app and I mean, it started in 2016, but it's like peaking right now. Like it's
Yeah.
like, oof.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to help some businesses out through my podcast and the show here. And I've been going through businesses, and they're like, oh yeah, they see the vision. I was like, oh yeah, the ones that understand they have to adapt. They're like, yeah, what do we go? Where do we have our meeting? And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, because you
Yeah.
always think it's hard, because I mean, they're corporate. Some of them are corporate businesses, but
Yeah.
they're franchise, and you're like, oh man, this is gonna be. I don't think it that way, but sometimes you're like, man, this is gonna be a little tougher. I gotta come in a different way. And when I came into one of them, I was like, whoa, that's like they did most of the talking. I didn't even do anything. It's like it was just done.
But yeah, no, you have a great point about like businesses that are closing brick and mortar. I think I read yesterday McDonald's is closing like 200 stores. So
Yep.
again, follow the big corporate big trends. If they're closing stores,
Think about it.
then why you don't need that many stores. You don't need a physical location. It used to be like, yeah, we're gonna open a physical location in every single place. That doesn't make sense.
No, it
So
doesn't.
don't do that. If you're gonna have a brick and mortar, maybe even start with a smaller place, smaller unit. I know a lot of people are splitting the units with maybe another service that can add on to your service. I'm going to use the example of there is a doctor, he works a lot with a nutritionist. So maybe having somebody else in-house that can split the cost of your brick and mortar that offers a sub service that you don't offer, but that person's going to also use your service. So, I know a lot of people are hairstylists, makeup artists, maybe coming together, brows, etc., for beauty, and having it as one shop that does all of that versus I have to have my own shop. I see a lot of
I know.
brow people are like, I need my own shop. I'm like, why? It takes 10
I don't
minutes.
want it. Yeah.
So think about that. Also, in terms of products, I feel everybody can sell either a service or a product, and sometimes both. So if you are, I keep using the beauty industry as an example, but everyone knows food. They have a product that they're selling, but you can definitely sell a product if you're a service-based business. So people that are in the beauty industry, I'm like, do YouTube tutorials. That's still a product. It's a digital product. If you're a hairstylist, sell, if you're a colorist, sell hair dye. That's a product. A lot of people were doing that during the quarantine. I don't think those things should go away because it's another subset of income. So I want people, especially for businesses, to think offline, online, products, services, digital products. A podcast counts as a digital product. You can get sponsorship for your podcast. You can charge people to be on your podcast. You can get another opportunity from the podcast that is a paid, even speaking engagement, even if it's a virtual engagement. Virtual summits, that's another digital product. So it doesn't have to be, if you're like, well, I don't have a physical product. If you're a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant, you can still sell your service, which is your information, and get paid for it.
Yep.
I believe they're saying most millionaires have 7 forms of income. So if you have a business, you have one.
Yeah.
There's 6. So what
In
are
the
the
same
other?
branch, just
Right.
do little
Just
branches of income.
do little branches, or a lot of times people will say, like, do what you're passionate about. So it may sound funny, but like I'm engaged and my fiance is a scientist. So he's very analytical. He's he's very sweet, but he's not a hugger. He's
Ah,
So most scientists are not, which is normal, but yet he's multifaceted. He's a great photographer. So, and he loves gaming, and he's huge on like video games and board games and vintage games. And I'm trying to push him, like, you should start a vintage game store online. Like, it's easy. Just sell all the stuff that you don't need. And that would be a part of him, because that's his passion. He loves that, and he already has access to the stuff that he already owns. So you don't have to actually do whatever you're doing. You can start another thing that is a subset of that and still have an extra form of income. And sometimes it grows bigger than even your main income. Like, that's happened to people. So, but think of it in terms of either, can I sell a product? Can I sell a service through a digital platform? Or can I sell an actual digital product? So if you're a lawyer, you can easily sell templates for contracts. Like, I was looking for a contract the other day, and that happens all the time. So there's plenty of things that you can do if you are, because I get that question a lot from people who are in the service industry versus someone who's like, well, I'm selling food. It's pretty obvious what I do. But service people start thinking about products on top of the services you offer.
Oh yeah, there's always a way. It's like I was saying, there's always a way, and don't close, like you said, don't close your mind just because you can open your bar.
Yeah.
I know it's tough for the bars that they're closed because they sell drinks.
Right.
But look, just yesterday, one bar here in Houston stepped up. They're adapting and they created their own podcast. I think they're gonna start in August, like the 5th. They're gonna have their own podcast, their own tutorial, something with the bar. I was reading it on an article, and I was like, there it is, finally one,
right.
a bar stand up, and it's a bar that is well known here in Houston, and they are doing it. They're gonna start. I think they're gonna do it in a park, and I think they got permission to sell some drinks and sell some information. They went and added, and that's what they need. They need to see that.
Yeah, bars especially. All the bars, obviously, bars have a special place in my heart because we held events at bars. So I'm fully, a lot of bars, I know owners that I'm still in contact with, they are hurting. But it's definitely an opportunity, like you said, to step up and think about what else can I offer people. People are still going to drink. I don't necessarily want to go to the liquor store. So I think I recently ordered alcohol through an app. Like, you can easily either, if you're a bar, create your own app, and then have everybody, all the mixes pre-mixed and instructions on how to serve this.
How to do it.
People are still doing like backyard parties with groups. I think it's under 10 people.
Yeah.
Family members, people. Somebody I know went to a wedding that was outside. So bars can definitely, start.
Oh, weddings are still going on.
Yeah, weddings are still going on. Baby shower, all this stuff is still happening. So if it's going outside, then I would pay for a bar cart to be at my wedding. Bring the bartender. They serve the drinks. You bring the alcohol. I don't want to do any of that. So people will pay for that, and then you still get your bar's name out there. Somebody else will want to have you at their party. You're probably going to get booked that same night.
Yep.
And you don't need your space.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
Yeah. So it's fine. We're just going to be moving into just a different way of socialization.
Different big. I just see it. Like, every time I'm just like trying to reach other people and reach my other friends that have businesses, and like, hey, how are you doing? Now it's more of a collaboration and adapting. That's how I started. I went out to different bars and I just took pictures of the food that I was doing, and from some there, they reached to me, and then from there it just went on to talk about how can we work together, and that's it.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity to, in terms of social, is a great opportunity, like you said, for collaboration. So I personally, during this time, I probably would have never met half the people I met had, we not been inside and having, a major shutdown with everything. Obviously I met you through online. I definitely met other people through my Instagram. I'm doing a live every single week with different people that I don't know. So it is literally live where you're just like, hi, I just met you, let's talk. And, everyone's saying yes. And they're all from different cities. I've had a few people from London, Canada, other parts of the UK. So you don't know who's out there, and people are willing now to work with other people. And, as we move along, eventually you'll find out everybody's having the same problems. So like figure out a solution, find a way to come together. And then eventually you'll probably branch out into something new. Like you said, that bar is starting a podcast. They're starting to do things outside. So it doesn't mean you have to give up what you're doing. It just means you should adapt to the surroundings. But definitely this is a time to reach out to other people that are in your field. Don't be afraid. And definitely reach out to them and see if they want to work with you. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. And then also reach out to your influencers. Like a lot of influencers, a lot of bloggers are at home right now.
Yep.
Some of their contracts are not going because of the fact that, there is a pandemic. They may not be able to get a product to them in time. If you're a smaller business, you could probably get that product to them a lot faster than a big corporation. So it gives you an opportunity to work with maybe an influencer who's a little bit more well-known, because they need content too. So it's an opportunity for people to expand. And like I was saying before, expand to areas that you don't know if you're going to be a hit. Apparently I'm popular in Canada. Didn't really think about this, but every single time I go online, I meet somebody from Canada. So, I never would have thought that, but I was like, okay. So you never know, maybe you're popular in New Zealand. I don't know, but if that's the case, then start reaching out to New Zealand people and, see where that goes.
Hold on, let me.
It's okay.
I forgot the other phone was over there.
It's okay.
Like my phone is off, so I was like, I don't want no distractions. But man, you're right. And one of the questions before, I know you said 30 minutes, is like, were your parents always, they had their own business, like you said? So when you were little, you started looking at them. Did they teach you some ways? Like, hey, when you grow up, you don't need to work for this. You don't need to work. You can follow our path or follow your path.
Yeah. So everyone's always had a business. My grandfather had a business. And they're mainly in science business. So it's like manufacturing and pharmaceuticals. So I say it's the non-sexy stuff, but the non-sexy stuff does really well. And it's consistent. So I learned more about like how to manage your employees, how to do a balance sheet, how to look at your finances, how you're going to get money before you get paid. Like, do you pay yourself first? Do you pay your employees first? Like, more about the finances, I think, is what I learned, as well as like, you're not going to be working for 4 hours and then go to the pool. So, if that means you work for 12 hours a day sometimes and you work until it's done. So I saw how hard they worked. I saw the issues that came about when maybe you don't want to take a loan out from the bank and you want to use your own money, and there's a risk. But then if it works, it's a big payout. So also the highs and lows of business. So most businesses have about 7 years of a good run, meaning it doesn't mean your business closes after 7 years. You're going to have a high point where you make a lot of money, you do very well, and everyone likes you and your brand is good. And then you're going to start to dip. So I use the example of Facebook. Facebook a few years ago was everybody knew about it. Zuckerberg was like on every single magazine cover. He was on the top of his game. Not so much now. So, is he still making money? Yes. Is Facebook still relevant? Of course. Is it going to be around probably for the rest of our lives? Yes. But its high peak was maybe a few years ago. So if you look at when they came out and when they became popular, it was about 7 to 8 years. And then after that, there goes into like a dip, and then you hit a plateau. So you want to make sure that whenever your business gets to that high point, you've made enough and you feel comfortable that when you hit your plateau, you don't go bankrupt. You can still operate and you can still make a profit. So I always say that, even though obviously with dating, I'm talking about things that are very sexy and fun, that business is not. Business is not sexy and fun. Business is hard work. And you have to talk about the non-sexy stuff. So being a business owner can sound very sexy to people because of the fact that, oh, you make your own hours, you can do what you want. Essentially, that's true, but you still have to make money to feed your family and hopefully employ people. So it's important, I think, for business owners to focus on that stuff rather than, some of the non-superficial stuff. So that's what I learned from my own family, is to focus on that. When are you going to hit your peak? And how quickly can you get to that peak? Because there's somebody else trying to get there too. And you want to get there, but you also want to sustain. So can you run this business for the next 10, 15 years, make a living, be profitable, and, not have to close in that time period? If the answer is yes, keep doing what you're doing. If the answer is no, then you need to start pivoting and do something else.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And you have to see those moments fast, because you see it. You see your paperwork. You see the profits. You see, whoa, it's been 3 months. And like, okay, I hit the peak. And that's when you start seeing about investing. Where can I make more money out of investing this money? And still, if I'm flat, got a portfolio on real estate. I got this. So I'm making money every month from all of these little branches over here. So you're set. You still got your main business and you still got the investing part.
Right. Well, so that's the seven types of income. So whether you own property, you have stock, you have savings, you have another business, you're offering services, you're selling a product, you're doing digital stuff.
You're selling yourself.
Like, you just keep sell. I sound like a stockbroker, but you have to have the 7, because think of it this way: if you have 7 and 3 are doing really bad, then you still have 4. You still have 4 forms of income. So when the pandemic hit, we got to see a lot of people only have 1 form of income, aren't doing so well. So this is a time where, they're like, get a job. Don't get a job. Find a way to make 2 or 3 forms of income that won't be affected by this pandemic or anything else, because you don't know what else is going to happen.
This is not the last.
Yeah, this is not last things to happen. So personally, when this happened, I had something that one of my biggest form of incomes obviously took a hit, because I can't do face-to-face events. So I quickly I had no time to even process. I was like, nope, we're not doing this. We're going to do this. I had to call everybody, switch to virtual stuff. Didn't even know what I was doing. I had to learn virtual stuff. And then, okay, I was like, we're going to do this. We're going to do a month free, because we had enough money to float for that month. And then the next month, we're going to have it paid. And if I don't get this amount paid, I have to figure out why. And obviously we figured out why, which is why I'm still going. I was like, if it doesn't work, I'm dropping it. So set a time limit, pivot, figure out what needs to work in your own industry and how you can change it and make money. And if you're making money and your expenses are down, you're okay. You're not going to make the same amount you made before. So you have to be realistic. Like, that's not coming back for a while. But you can still make money, and just realize, okay, how can I make, if I'm not making money, then you're not a business. It's that simple. It's a hobby.
Yeah, that's true. You have to figure it out. You have to ask. That's why a lot of people are afraid, to ask, like, even businesses, like, I'm afraid to talk to somebody, let them know about, my problem, money. That's what everybody's scared to talk about, money.
Yeah. Well, you have to. You're a business owner. That's all.
You
like,
can't.
That's cool. I'm like, it's either I'm making it or I'm not. And
I'm not.
There's nothing else. There's no gray area. And if you're doing well, then you just do it more. And if you're not doing well, like, it's almost the same thing when people go, I want to make $1 million. Well, have you made 100? No. Okay, go make 100, then make 1,000, then make 10,000, 100,000, 500,000, $1 million. So hit those milestones. And I hate to say it, need to start over. Some people need to start over in their businesses, or go into a different industry, or tweak their industry or what they're doing, and hit those milestones again. You may have made $1 million last year. You may not make that this year if you're a bar. You may have to make 100,000. I don't know. But can you operate 100,000? Do you need 12 bartenders? No, maybe you only need 2. So figure out how you can make that first milestone, and then once your bills are paid, then hit your second milestone. So,
and you see that, like, right now, especially a lot of those businesses that they had 10 or 15 employees, now they went down to 3.
Yeah,
or two.
everyone's doing it. Corporate just slashed most of the
Oh,
people.
corporate
They
did
had to
it.
buy.
That's why there's 30 million people unemployed, because there's
Yeah,
just
that
lack.
number is wrong. I think
I
it's
know.
probably, yeah, it's probably 100. Like it's not. It's most of the working age, 18 to 49. So
Oh yeah, I know. Just like the
and
COVID thing.
yeah, it's all wrong. And then even with doctors, so the last quick point I'm going to make. So a lot of people are like, oh no, doctors are doing well. Doctors are not doing well. Doctors still have their loans from school. They are still working, so they can't defer them like most of us can at this point. And if they are working, obviously, if they're working, they may be exposed to COVID. Most of them are. And then the lack of PPE, the fact that they're not getting overtime pay. They're just told you have to stay and work and do this, otherwise you don't have a job. So a lot of nurses and doctors are quitting because they're not getting the finances that they should be getting. They're not getting the proper care they need to get. They're not getting the proper PPE. They're not getting mental health services, which they desperately need because they're the ones dealing with this on a daily basis. So if the medical industry is not doing well, this is a big problem. Like everything is affected. So I think it's a way where people are going to start to hopefully find other sources of income. Look at the things that you're passionate about. Start doing stuff that you're really passionate about. Don't be afraid. I'm working on a couple of side things just because I've been really passionate about it for years. And I was like, I guess this is the time to do it because, like, what else am I going to do? I can't go anywhere. I'm just stuck in my house all the time. So, and see what happens, and you'll never know what's going to happen. So I think even in the medical industry, I think we're going to see a lot more telehealth. I think we're going to see a lot more. I use an app where I can go on and order my medication and it's delivered to me. So start thinking about services. If you're selling a service or a product, how can you offer it digitally, whether it's through a virtual setting, or how can I get this product immediately to my customer through delivery? So yes, we order a lot on Amazon, but a lot of people are thinking, well, I would really love my such and such. Can you just mail it to me? I saw a clothing store where it was like clothes in a box, where it literally was outfits in a box, and they put your shoes, your shirt, your pants, like everything was in the box.
That's true.
And it was like a local store. I think it's in Madison, Wisconsin. And they just recently started doing this. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, I don't want to sit there and look through I don't want to go in, first of all, to your store. 2, I can't, I'm not there. 3, I really like your outfits that I see on Instagram, but I don't want to buy a shirt and then not know what to wear it with. You can take my size, box it to me, free shipping. I got a whole outfit and didn't have to do anything. So, think like that about how you can get your items to your customer. What else can you sell to your customer? And how can you figure out a way to offer free shipping, even if that means up the price of your item?
Yeah, that about clothing stuff, I had that idea a long time ago, and I jumped into a lot of things that I failed like that. I went and spent a lot of my money and went to buy clothes, and I didn't even know what I was doing. It ended up a mess because I wanted to do like a box thing for women, send them 2 pants, 2 shirts, 2 blouses, and stuff like that. I was like, I was all excited. To the end of the day, I just quit. I was like, I don't know what to do. I just gave all the clothes away. I didn't even sold it. I just gave it away.
No. So I feel like somebody's gonna come up with like Zoom outfits. It's gonna be like perfect for your Zoom meeting, Zoom first date, Zoom interview.
I know, it's crazy, but I still want to do it. I still have that outline that how I wanted to do it. I know now how to do it, but I don't want to basically do it with women. I want to do it with kids because they don't have anything right now.
Yeah,
they don't have any shoes.
People don't want to go into stores. I think this is the whole consensus. No matter how great, I don't even want to go to the grocery store. Like, I have the groceries delivered at this point. So
you can do that,
yeah. So you can literally, I keep saying this, you can deliver anything. You probably start delivering people at this point. It's gonna be rent a date. You want a date, he shows up. So like,
let me call right now.
Tinder's gonna put this on their app. Like, do you want him to show up in 10 minutes?
Hey, we're talking about it right now, but hey, it might happen. Someone out there listening.
I mean, hey, it saves time. Like he's already here.
He's already
But
here.
he's already here. You don't have to go anywhere. So people don't want to look through things. They know what they want. Most people know what they want. Sometimes they don't, but a lot of times people know what they want. So if they know what they want, it's easier. If you're providing something that people want, they just want it to their house. They don't want to talk to you. I know that sounds horrible. No matter how
I
nice you
know.
are, they just want their product. If it's a service, it's different. Then they obviously do want to talk to you. But if it's a product, they just want their product easy, done, and fast. If you can get it to somebody in 2 days, you're on the same track as Amazon practically.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
figure out how to do that, whether it's FedEx or, through your postal services. Find out how much it is for whatever you're selling. Add that to the price of what you're selling, and then get it to the people that want it. Like, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, it's
So,
not a big brainer. It's just,
no.
and I also learned that if you build it, don't always think that they're gonna come.
Yeah,
First,
don't do that.
yeah. But it's true, man. I'm excited. I'm working on my own app, so I'm excited about that. And
I saw that. I was like, ooh,
I'm pretty much want that app to help other people. I know it's gonna help me, but it's gonna help other businesses because apps. Look, man, just recently, what Burger King, they have apps, Starbucks, McDonald's,
yeah.
everything on the app. You choose it, they give you
Everything
something
has
for
apps.
free.
Again, people don't want to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
Your bank, your money in your bank is in an app. Like I just went into my bank account, looked at my paid my credit card, looked at my put money into my bank account, and I did not have to go in and talk to my banker. So if your money is on an app,
You just
yeah. So
go in there.
we're at the point where we want to communicate with humans when we want to have, I think, a personal connection. Like, we're talking to another person and we're developing a relationship, whether that's a business relationship or friendship or a romantic relationship. We still want that. That is not the same as I want to have a whole full conversation when I just want my coffee.
There you go.
I think it'll change, like I said, how we socialize. I think we're going to socialize more on social. Socials will become even more important than it already has become, because we're going to use that for our businesses. We're going to use that for our social connection, our dating lives. People are dating people off of Instagram and Facebook. Facebook has already created Facebook dating. Instagram might do as well. So, you already can see what people are doing, who they're hanging out with, their friends. You can see what they like, what they don't like, their thoughts. So there really isn't a reason to have conversations when you're trying to just get a product. Save that for service. So service businesses need to focus on putting themselves out there through video content, through blog content, through podcasts, any place where they can say, oh, I heard that voice before, or, oh, I've seen that person before. So they may not know your name, but they've either heard your voice or they've seen your face. So service people need to focus on that. Product people need to focus on how quickly can I get this product to this person, and what can I sell more? When they buy this, will they be interested in product B, C, D, and E? And if the answer is yes, then you go that route.
That's true. And the more value you give them, even you give them something in that box, they're like, oh, I didn't order this. Oh, man.
Yeah.
They're going to come back to you again and again.
Free away every week. And I get something
good.
in return. So it does not cost me that much. The thing I'm giving away is as much as my coffee for the whole month. So, but what I'm getting in return is a customer, a social media follower, somebody who's going to promote me and I don't have to spend energy and money doing that. Someone who hopefully is going to come back and do business with me later on, versus just me spending more money on, I know a lot of people are doing targeted ads, but it can be a waste if you don't have a community. If you have a community, you may not even need targeted ads.
No.
So I always make a joke, like, look at what happened with Popeyes with the chicken sandwich. Like, they did not run any ads. This was not on television. No. This was literally over Twitter because someone said, hey, I have a better chicken sandwich. So,
and they just
right. They didn't need ads. So, yes, they had a community, but it wasn't a crazy amount of people on Twitter before this talking about a chicken sandwich. So
that's true.
It's creating that community, getting out the good content, and then actually getting content that people can with engagement. So asking somebody, is my stuff better than this? Or saying you have the best stuff and this is why, it'll get people to engage with it. Or giving stuff away for free for a certain amount of time will give you engagement. You don't have to do it forever, but it is something that will get you, basically it's free PR.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you might lose
loves,
a little bit of money, but you're gonna
yeah,
gain a lot. Look at them, man. That sandwich
yeah,
they made what, 30-40 million dollars. I was like,
yeah. I mean, McDonald's is basically, on its decline, and Popeyes and I believe Chick-fil-A are the two.
yeah.
Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, and Taco Bell are the three top fast food
Dude,
places that
Chick-fil-A
are
is
still.
always full. Every time I drive, is all of them are always full.
Yeah, they're all full.
Chicken.
So
It's just a damn fried chicken. I'm like,
yeah, I mean,
hey,
they're basically selling the same stuff essentially. Like, it's none of it is that great. We all know it's not that great, but we still eat it. We
we
still
still eat
pay
it.
for it. So
We still eat. I love Whataburger. That's my number one from here in Houston. Whataburger is just number one.
yeah, see, I like In-N-Out, and that's not here.
We have it here now, and I haven't
I
tried it yet.
know. I saw
This
it. I was
weekend,
like, oh,
this
I know
weekend when I do another video, I'm gonna be like, "This is my first time trying this. See if it's good."
So yeah, no, just remember that it's definitely, I think it's definitely easier to focus on social and creating a community that really likes what you're doing, is really happy and engaged, and you will get not followers but clients. People are very focused on followers. I'm hoping that goes away, because you can literally make money with a very small following if the people that you have are so engaged and love your product. If they're not, then you just want vanity metrics, I guess. I don't really know why you want that, because it's not paying your bills. So like,
Yeah, it's like I would say, you got to create those out of those followers you have. You got to create. There's fans, and then there's the super fans. Those are the ones that, right? Those are clients,
yeah,
but just name them super fans.
yeah, it's again, I create everything for business and dating. So like, find somebody that's like obsessed with you, find a client that's obsessed with you, or obsessed with your product, not you.
With your
But
not you.
yeah, not stalker. But like,
Not stalker. No, we don't want a stalker.
but if they're obsessed with your product and what you're doing, like, focus on finding more people like that. Maybe that person has a friend, have all their friends come, virtually come in on your page. But yeah, don't focus on vanity metrics. I always say 1 million followers does not equate to $1 million.
No.
So until it does, many of my actual clients think that, and I'm always yelling at them, going like, "You're not going to get paid more if we put more people on here. Like, did your bank account increase last week because your following went up? No." Then stop focusing on that. Focus on the content and who's reaching out to you. I want people to focus on, especially for social media, focus on who's reaching out to you and who are you able to reach out to and get a yes. So if that's not happening, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can just be that, like I said, that one person, and then it just unlocks all these 3-4 doors. Now you got 4 or 5 clients. You're like, man, these 5 clients are paying me 5, 6.
Yeah.
Whoa, only for 5 clients, and you're like, okay,
Right.
and you're not
You don't
overwhelmed.
need that many,
You're not overwhelmed.
Right. You don't need that many. So once your basic bills are paid, I think they've said, like, you need, I think at $70,000 a year, making more money doesn't create more happiness. So if you think about that, then you have a bunch of other stuff. If you have more than $70,000 worth of bills right now for the year, then you need to start downsizing, because something's wrong where you're just buying stuff to create, emptiness. It's not going to make you happier. So once most basic needs are met, where you have a home over your head, food, all that, and some kind of entertainment, then you don't need anything else. So why are you buying it? Are you buying it out of just, an emotional thing, or so something is wrong there.
Yeah,
But
that used to be me, man. I mean, there's a lot of people we used to be like that, I mean, I used to love buying shoes, like if I was like, girl, shoes.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm like,
mean,
for
I
what?
can say some of this has been helpful, because I'm wearing sandals right now. I did.
Whoa, hold on, I can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
I need it. Okay, I'm back.
You're good.
That was a phone call.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would definitely just, my biggest advice right now is just focus on creating that community, and focus on getting the people that already care about you and whatever platform you're using or whatever you're doing to start buying. And be realistic. If you're like, hey, sales are down, what can I do to make you guys buy? Talk to people. Be like, do you want a discount on the product? Do you want a discount on shipping? Do you want me to discount my services for the next month? And then after that, go back to regular pricing, but figure out how to get any kind of money in right now. And then you know who your people are, and then go from there.
Yep. And then you're there. This is like you were saying, we learned how to the expenses. Like, I don't really buy no more shoes now. I have just like you said, the ones that I'm wearing and some other ones. But before it was just stacks. I think I give them all away to people that needed it. You know, even clothes. My closet was like, "Rrr," and I was like, these clothes is from 3 years and I never used it. Now I don't even fit. I was like, that's sad. So I gave it away. I just kept the stuff that I need. I don't need to go buy every day a new shirt, a new pants. I'm like, for what? That's like, that shirt is not gonna make me money unless I'm selling the shirt that's gonna make me money. Then
right. So no, don't. I always say buy what's gonna make you money.
Yep.
So I would not buy a new outfit until I made money. I made
money. You know what?
Enough to cover it.
Before we even finish, I learned something. That was a long time ago. I learned that buy the stuff that you buy, but put your logo stuff, your business stuff. So when you go to do the taxes, all that clothing that you get is being written out. I have a friend that he makes 7 figures. He suits and everything. His name and logo is inside. He's like, I don't pay for this shit. It's like it's all been written out.
Good. I was
like, that was something new that I learned. And I was like, oh, because I love wearing suits. I say, when I'm wearing my shoes, hey, right there, I'm gonna write them all out.
Yeah, I mean, and it's good advertising. I've seen people do that to their cars. Like, you could literally get a free car if you drive around with someone else's brand on it. Like, I mean, you could do that, or you can put your own brand on it, and then every person that drives past is going to look up your stuff. So it's, write it off on your taxes. So there's plenty of things you can do. I knew someone, he would wear a hat all the time, was part of his brand, and his logo was on the hat. And I didn't know what he did, but I eventually looked it up because I was like, he's only wearing that hat. No matter what he has on, it was just like his name of his, it was like a management company. And I was like, what is this? So it worked. Do that.
Look at me. I'm wearing this hat every time, but it's not my business. It's somebody else's business.
You need to start wearing your own.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing it enough so when he sees that, he'll be like, hey, you know what, man, you're actually pushing out there. So how can we work? How can I pay you now that you're wearing my hat every time?
He needs to pay you as a brand ambassador.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, you know what? I'm wearing it. I'm wearing a shirt too from another business, but that's how I kind of do it through other businesses. So I can, like, hey, man, he's wearing not even some of my family wear this shirt, but he's doing it. How can I work? He's on show every time. They're watching him. They're gonna ask him. So how can we do it? How can we work together? How can I pay you monthly? There you go. So then you got another little income coming in.
Yeah, brand ambassadors are huge. That's why I said when you reach out to people who will promote your product for you, and you don't have to do it.
Yeah. I'm waiting for a shirt that somebody from California, they're starting their own business of making shirts, and she told me, hey, I want to make your logo and everything. I said, for free, don't worry about it. I'm gonna send you the shirts, and then if you like them, I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. It's like, all right,
they'll wear it, or I had somebody recently give me a bunch of templates because I just didn't want to do them and I didn't have time. And they're like, can we get a referral? And I was like, yeah, I know somebody here. Go over there. And they're like, great, free. Because they just wanted the referral. And I was like, I have one and I just want the product and I don't want to pay for it. And I don't have time. And so everybody got what they wanted and was happy. So if you don't have money, that's another thing you can offer to promote their product, give them a referral. Testimonials are huge. Video testimonials are wonderful. So I would definitely give somebody something for free if they give me a video testimonial. So
write a book.
Yeah, write an ebook.
I did mine. I have my ebook, but I really want to have it on a copy. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna send it out so they can do me the little copy because I only have the ebook.
Yeah, I went to an event where somebody sent out. She handed. She's a very big influencer. She handed out 100 copies of her book for free, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Why are you doing that?" She's like, "Because you're gonna go and tell everybody that I got this book," and everybody was instructed to share on their social. So that evening, she had 100 posts of people who promoted her book. So now she's gonna get probably 10,000 more book sales. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna order those books and then just give them
right,
away.
and give them away and tell them this is what you need to do, and have them, promote your book and promote the link of where to buy the book. Give them a
Mm-hmm.
code, and then once they have the code, they will be able to, people will get, I don't know, 10% off, enough to cover taxes.
Yeah, not
And
perfect.
then,
And it's gonna be signed. Don't worry.
right, and they're signed, and people will buy them. So
Yeah.
that's a lot cheaper than spending, I don't know, $10,000 on marketing. Nobody wants to do that.
No.
Like,
And I'm still like sit down here and I'm like, I see it because I have it in my phone, my own ebook, and on the computer. And did I actually wrote that? I mean, I hired somebody I wrote it, but somebody to
right,
fix it and somebody to do the
right.
little pictures. But I'm like, damn, I wrote that. And I'm like, man, it took me a whole year and a half because I'm not a writer. I'm like, I don't really like that, but I'm like, I really want to do another book, but on my
Yeah,
story, but I'm gonna get a ghostwriter so they can do the whole thing.
yeah. Get a ghostwriter. At this
Because
point,
a
somebody
whole
else.
year and a half,
No,
that's too much.
I believe you could probably get an ebook out within a year, like not a year, a month, if you have a
Hmm.
ghostwriter. Get a ghostwriter, give them some kind of outline. I mean, you got to do the outline, but once they do that, there you go. Find a
They
graphic
are.
person, through some pictures, put in an ebook format, put it on Amazon, and then send out 100 for free.
Yeah,
Like,
and they're good at that. I'm like, I'm not good at that. If it took, I have a friend here in Houston. He already wrote 5 books like in the whole year. I was like, damn, it took me a whole year, and you're already
yeah,
wrote 5 books. But they like that, and I'm like,
yeah.
I just want to have them, but I don't want to write them. I'm not that good at it.
Yeah, or you can even transcribe a lot of things you say. There's tons of apps that'll actually take your podcast, they'll take your any audio content or your YouTube content, and they'll transcribe all your content. So therefore, you have everything you've ever said, and then you put that in a book of just like, these are my topics, these are the
No, that's
quotes,
cool. That is true.
and you don't have to do any work.
I like
So
that. Yes.
I try to tell people, like, do one thing really well, whether it's a podcast, a YouTube,
Yes.
a video, and then what can you break up from that and get more content or more income. But you don't have to create, like, I don't have time
No,
to write a blog, to do videos, do a podcast. Like, do one thing really great and then
push that out.
push that out to multiple things.
I learned that from yesterday. I was doing a little webinar with Dan Harry, and I just ordered his book. And he was saying, "Man, I wanted to do YouTube and then Facebook ads, YouTube and this." And at the end of the day, I lost a lot of money. And I was like, "Damn, he's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Just
No. Do
touch
one thing,
one and
just
then
one.
branch it out."
Branch it out. So I'm mostly on Instagram. I'm always on Instagram Live at least once a week. And then eventually I will be taking all of my Instagram Lives and putting them on YouTube. But I'm not creating more content for YouTube. I'm just putting it on a different platform. I'm not creating more stuff. And then I have a podcast only once a month with someone else, but that's only once a month. And I record things way in advance. So you don't need to create like 4 different forms of content. You can, take a video
Like this
podcast
one.
and then
Yep.
download the audio. There you go.
That's what
Download
I
the
do
audio.
through here the software. I just
Yeah.
join Buzzsprout, and now I own my own RSS feed. So no,
Right.
I can use it for anything. I'm now in iTunes, like now on iTunes, so that they can download it, and I can
Right.
get a top rank. And I didn't know none of that. I had to talk to somebody that really does the audio podcast and learn. But you have to
Right.
invest. You have to ask. So
Yeah.
I was like, I want to learn,
Yeah.
and now I know. Now I did it.
Yeah.
Now I'm waiting for the intro because I did an intro for the show. I paid
Right.
somebody to do my intro. Now I'm paying somebody else to do my intro for the so it will be professional. And then I'm for that
Yeah.
I don't have to, that's it.
Yeah, or I record my intros, but I'm using the same intro. Like,
Yeah.
so like I can't create new ones for each one. I mean, I could, but I'm not doing But yeah,
I
you can
look
definitely pay people for graphics, intros,
Fiverr.
Fiverr, putting or just having them transcribe stuff and putting it on different places. So there's tons of people who love doing that work for not a lot of money. But just like I said before, create one really good piece of content over and over again. Spend an hour a week creating that content, and that's it. Like, don't and let everybody else do the other stuff. Like, you don't need to do it.
Yeah. You segregate to the team. You just do this and then you do that, because if you want to do everything yourself, it's tough. It's tough.
Don't do that. No, you have to make money.
Yeah, I know. It's like I have to be in front, but everybody else is doing the work. Even though everybody's getting paid, but it's a win-win situation for everybody.
Right.
Thank you. I know we went over the 30 minutes. I know you had a call. I tell you, there's some guy last time that I had. He's like, hey, I only have 15 minutes. We went for an hour and 45 minutes. And I told him, hey, I thought you said 15 minutes. I'm like, I know, man. But the talk was great and we had a lot of questions. And I was like, hey, it happens, man. It happens. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. No, you're a great interviewer. This was very easy.
Thank you. No, I'm telling you, I learned and I free learning and then pay learning, and then after a while you have to do it consistently. So I got the hang of it, and I started getting the hang of it. I said, you know what, I want to create it as a storytelling, and them telling them what they do, a little story. I know we didn't even go, you said just one piece of the story of your parents, but sometimes there's other people that I may go back. Like yesterday, I made that guy go back. He's like, damn, that question was good. At the end of the show, he's like, I went back when my grandpa and this, and nobody had asked me that. So but that story is what people like. They want to know everything, because when I started, it was too many questions. When I did it, and when I started in 2016, it was just questions. It was like, what's going on, And when the audience said we want storytelling, and I changed it, and I changed the name too, because I had a different name.
Yeah, no, this is very seamless.
Oh yeah, and I love it, man. Like tomorrow, I have another podcast from a Houstonian. And he is out there. He's already making 7 figures or something. He's a really nice guy from here, but I lost in contact with him, so I need to go back and contact with him so we can collaborate. And I already told him, hey, we need to meet together one-on-one again so we can do something. He's like, all right, let's do it, because he's helping a lot of people here in Houston. No, that's a lot. But that's what you guys say.
You need to get paid for those brands you're wearing.
Oh yeah, I know. I know. That's why I was doing it. This is like the second week that I'm wearing them. So yesterday I was sitting down. I was like, all right, it's about time I go back to them and say, hey, you know what? I'm wearing this. So how can we work this out? I mean, it doesn't have to be much, but I was wearing it on a monthly fee. I was wearing it here.
Yeah, no, I have a rule. This is why I'm wearing a black shirt. Like, I have a rule. When I'm on camera, I am not promoting any brand other than my brand unless you pay me or give me the product for free. So somebody is sending me a product for free very shortly, because I was like, I'll definitely promote you, but I'm not paying for this. It doesn't make sense. So
yeah, I know. Like I told them,
them to use the product. So if you want it to be genuine, it's like, I'm using this because I like it, but like, if you want me to actually tell people about it, you need to provide some transaction has to occur. So if you're not getting paid or you're not getting something of any kind of value, monetary value, then whether it's free product or payment, then I'm in a black or white t-shirt.
Yeah. I always wear, because I have my own shirts, like my own shirts for myself, and I always wear it. But I was like, I'm gonna give it 2 weeks, and then I'll start talking to them. I know that they gave it to me for free, but I was like, hey, this is something that I want to know if y'all want to jump into the next step. If man, I'll wear it. I don't mind. I like it.
Yeah. No, you just gave them free advertising.
Yeah, I know. Yep. And the other lady that I used to wear, she owns 5 hardware store. I never wore her shirt. I wore it 2 days ago, but she called me and we're having a meeting tomorrow, but we're signing a contract. Not for wearing her shirt, because she wants to work with me about doing a show for her on real estate, because she has 29 years of experience in real estate. That's a lot.
That is a lot. Wow, yeah.
And she's like, she's like, I already know you, Jesus. And she's like, this is the time where you give good value, but you got charged. So we're talking business. So we're gonna sit down and it's about paying. I don't mind paying you because I know your work, and let's do it. I was like, man, let's go. And especially doing shows, I love that. So I said, let's create something phenomenal for you.
No, it makes perfect sense. And you gotta get paid. Again, like I said, businesses, you have some transaction has to occur. It's not the amount people should be worried about. It's like, I need to get paid for something. And then once you do that, you can up your prices later. You can take on a bigger client that can pay more, but you got to get paid. If you've never gotten paid for something, then that's not your business. So
because I'm looking just for maybe 2 to 3 sponsors for the podcast, for the podcast and the show here, but that they're gonna put in money, just 2 or 3. I don't want to have 5 or 10 because it's gonna be hard on me putting all the commercials and their stuff here. But 2 to 3 that they're actually investing some money, that's fine. Because the rest of the thing is doing the interviews and advertising small commercials here. That's simple. And then the big things that I'm doing with the lady, the show, that's simple too, because I love doing that stuff. It's like, for me, it's like, it's nothing. And with that, it's gonna pay. With that, I mean, like I said, I don't have a lot of expenses, so other bills we pay, and I'll be doing everything.
Right. But again, it's about business. So like,
it's about business.
Figure out the number that you're comfortable with sponsorship. The sponsorships that I've had, figure out, you have to provide your metrics, why they should be paying you, who your reach is, who are you reaching? Is it the same target audience? So a lot of people will be like, no, I need 20,000 views per episode or something like that. But are these people engaged? No. Is that target audience the same target audience of the brand that's sponsoring you? If it is, then that's a reason for them to say yes. And then pricing, like, are they a sponsor for the whole year? Will you not? I've had to sign a non-compete where I won't get another brand sponsor or brand partnership with someone similar. So you don't want to be promoting. I had an event at Estee Lauder for a couple times. I did work with them. I wasn't going to start promoting a completely different brand if I'm working with Estee Lauder, so that wouldn't make any sense. Do I like other brands? Yes, but like, until you sign another, if you're with one brand and you start working with another brand and it's their exact competition, you don't want that. So don't do that. Ask them, can you work with other brands in that field? If they say no, then you're essentially signing a contract with only that brand. So
only that brand.
Is it going to bring you enough monetary value to do it?
Then that's fine.
Right. Then it's fine. If it's not, then be like, I don't want to sign this.
No.
So again, is it just for one-off, a monthly thing? I had people sign things for the entire year now. I don't work with anybody unless they sign something for the year. It doesn't make sense, because at least 3 months is getting to know somebody and working out the kinks. And then from then on, you kind of have to figure out a strategy of what to do. Also with COVID, I always say, like, look, Facebook has something on their thing saying, hey, everything's delayed because of COVID. So I'm going to be delayed. You're not going to have something immediately responded, because the whole world is changing every day. So we are all obviously working through this the best we can each day. But no one can say, oh, I know exactly how to work through a pandemic. Like, no one's done that.
No one's done that.
Yeah. So whatever your results are, you have to take in, I think, from the client aspect, you have to take in, hey, this is something I've never gone up against. The world is completely topsy-turvy. Am I getting results? Yes. Am I going to get, like I said, with the money thing, am I getting the same money I got before? Maybe not. But but just being realistic, I think, in everyone's expectations.
And that's good, because I'm been sitting down, and what you're giving me is good, because next week I'll have that that meeting with that bar. And it's a corporate bar, but they're all franchises here in Houston. So I'm like, that's gonna be one of the top ones that they're looking to really. They already follow and keep on following me and sending me messages that I will definitely have in the meeting. We really want to work with you. So I'm like, I have to really expect, if it's gonna be with them. That's it. I'll do that bar even if they pay me for the whole year. But I know I'm just focusing on them. I don't have to worry about another bar. Just focusing on them.
So that's what I meant by like, the monetary value. And when people are like, why is it so high? I'm like, because I'm not going to take on 10 other people. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to dedicate this amount of time, this amount of hours
You.
of work for you. If you go somewhere else, they're going to dedicate like an hour and they may not talk to you until whatever. So,
Yeah.
they're getting the actual service done by someone who cares enough to dedicate more time. So time is money, so it should reflect that.
Oh yeah, and I really like their new, the one that opened close to me, that the one that I went, because they have like a where you can have meetings, and I want to start doing my mastermind groups, like small groups too. And that's like, that's perfect right there. Like I can use that with being promoting. They're gonna let me use it because I just bring in people and they're gonna buy. We set up a small menu and they're gonna buy it. Or even if I had to pay for it, that's fine because I know I'm still getting paid from them. I'm not losing. I'm gonna win.
Yeah. So no, it'll that sounds definitely like a plan. And like I said, hopefully once we're into the winter,
I know. Yeah.
Hopefully in early 2021, I can't believe I'm saying early 2021.
I know.
We will hopefully have a vaccine and some of this will be resolved, and we are not going back to the way it was before.
No.
People should realize that, but we will go hopefully have more freedom to, definitely with the events, be able to go and hang out in more groups, and, feel safe. Yes, we can do it. But like, depending on where you are, it may not be the safest thing to do right now, but I think hopefully we will get to that point where we, especially from a business standpoint, the liability is on, I hate to say it, the person, not the business. You can't sue a restaurant if you get corona and you go to the restaurant. So you should not be able to sue me or anyone else that's holding, whether it's a class or an event. Hopefully the liability goes on, I hate to say it, but the person, because you are the one that is understanding the risk.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So once that gets settled, then I will feel comfortable with the event. So I think of it as a financial and legal standpoint.
Yeah.
Even if I'm losing some money from that, because it's just not, it's not safe.
It's not safe. So for now, we can still do it virtually. So I'm still good. You can
No, we're fine.
10 people, 8 people. Charge a high ticket or whatever your mastermind. You bring in a speaker, you bring in somebody in, you pay him, they pay you. Everybody wins. Somebody's learning.
Yeah, so it's fine. But eventually, like I said, we'll get back to some format of face-to-face. Hopefully in the next, maybe 6 to 7 months.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping like November or something, but man, stuff is crazy.
I'm still gonna wait until 2021. I think
everybody's putting their memes, like, oh, forget 2020, man.
Yeah. So
2021.
Somewhere of 2021, I feel should be very profitable for hopefully everyone, because we should have figured out, at least how this is caused and the transmission, and especially the bars. I would hope the bars at that point figure out how to stop this. Whether, I don't know, maybe you guys all need UV ones, maybe you need some better filtration systems in your air, but whatever that may be, once they figure that out, I think, events will, and socialization face-to-face will be better.
Back to normal. Yep, that's true. Man, thank you very much. So look at that, 1 hour and 15 minutes.
I know.
That's cool. That's great. It's Thursday, right? Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I don't even know the days. That's good. When you don't know the days, that's good.
Yeah, I don't know the day.
Man. With Stephanie, I was like, hey, and she was like, please don't say that because I have a meeting on that day. I was like, oh, no, okay. I was like, we're good.
Thank you so much. This is really fun.
No problem. And anything, you already have me on Facebook. Ask me any question or anything, and then let's see how we can collaborate through virtually and what we can do.
Definitely. I'm definitely open to doing more stuff. So we'll be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you. And you keep on having a blessed day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Boom. And we're done. 1 hour and 14 minutes. I told you, man. We're learning something new. I'm learning something new. Y'all learning something new. I'm not gonna keep you more of a time, an hour and 15 minutes. But hey, hashtag live. If you were watching this live, thank you. And I didn't say good morning. Good morning to everybody. It's already oh yeah, still morning. Good morning to the people that commenting. Every single one of you. Good morning. Thank you for being here and supporting the show. And like I said, any questions you guys you want to start working with me, hit me up, man. I got the ebook. We can do mastermind groups. You want to put any commercials here, advertising, or I'm looking, like I said, just for 2 to 3 sponsors, really serious sponsors to sponsor the show. And we're good to go, man. Good to go. And we can anything that we can collaborate, let me know. Hit me up and inbox me. But hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't forget that Tinkerbell on not add the notifications on Facebook and YouTube. And the guests, man, I'm telling you, we said 30 minutes. Look at that. The show went great, all the way to an hour and 15 minutes. And I'm blessed, and you're blessed. And I hope you learned something new and that you apply it to any aspects of your lives today. And your boy Jesus Ortiz is out. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. God bless.